Yeah, Lord have mercy. Y'all put them hands together. Help us sing a little bit of this song. Look at here. Woo! Time is winding up now. Start again, y'all. Keep on. Start one more time. Time is. Start again, boy. Time is. Are you ready to get your house in order? Y'all better get your house in order. You better get your house in order. You better get your house in order. You know why God is winding up. Start again, y'all. Time is every day, every day. Time is every day of my life. Time is just a
Mothers, tell your daughters.
tell you don't.
Fathers, tell your sons. Preachers,
Preachers,
tell your members.
tell your members.
Don't let them catch you with your work undone. You know why? Time.
Every day, y'all. Time is every day of my life. Time. Do you see the signs in the big tree, y'all? I know time is whirling. Time is getting closer, closer, closer. Every day, y'all. Time is. You gotta get your house in order. Y'all better be ready. Will you be ready? Will you be ready? Let me tell you, Jesus, He's coming back for a church without a spot or wrinkle. Will you, when He calls your name, one day on that Jesus gonna crack the sky. He's coming back for you. Let me ask you, Jamie, Audrey, Justin, Cole, Mitch, Jeffrey, will y'all be ready when Jesus come back for His children?
CEO Todd Mickens.
yeah.
Let's give him the early morning praise, baby. Let's go.
It's time to wake up, y'all. Yeah. Wake up to the early morning praise. Wake up to the early morning praise. It's time to wake up, y'all. Yeah. Welcome to the early morning praise. Welcome to the early morning. Yeah. It's time to show love, y'all. Yeah. Welcome to the early morning praise. Welcome to the early morning praise. good, y'all. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the early morning praise. Early morning, yeah, 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 yeah. It's the early morning praise. It's the early morning praise. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's the early morning praise. It's the early morning praise. Yeah, yeah. Early morning praise, it's the early morning praise, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the early morning praise.
Did you bring your dancing shoes? Hey, hey! Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Hey, everybody look,
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Hey, everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Hey, look, Hey, all right. Let me show you some moves, all right? I can see some of you don't know some moves. Let me show you. Do this. Do this. All right. Just follow me. Say, everybody look, see what the Lord has done. Let's go.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done
Look on the
for
left.
me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done.
Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me.
Look, I be you no say Jehovah na God.
I be no say Jehovah na God.
I be you no say Jehovah na God.
I be no say Jehovah na God.
I be you no say.
I be no say Jehovah na God.
Avery Entertainment and Ricky DeRay Productions present an evening with the Queens of Gospel.
I feel like I'm praising him.
Featuring 12-time Grammy Award winner, Pastor Shirley Caesar.
I remember Mama.
Also featuring the storyteller, Evangelist Dorothy Norwood. C, that Mississippi po' boy,
from a poor family.
Harvey Watkins Jr.,
We didn't have much,
and the Canton Spirituals.
but the Lord been good to
The
me.
world's all-time greatest gospel group, the Mighty Clouds of Joy. Also, Roy and Revelation, Pastor Daryl Pettis and Take Two, Sonny Brown and Experience, and more. Hosted by Jeffrey Lampkin. Saturday, November 11th at the Sumter County Civic Center. Doors open at 2. Show starts at 3:45. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Get them in Sumter at Import Limited, Al's Music Hut, and Undisputed Barbershop. The last 2 original caravans. Live. This will be a sellout. For info, contact C Snell Productions. 803-479-5489.
tragic things going on in the world today. Folks losing jobs and businesses closing. I just want to let somebody know there is a God looking from on high. He will see us through. Can I get a witness? A couple years ago, I was on the verge of giving up. I felt like the world was closing in on me. I was driving down the 105 freeway, and I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, tell me how long will trouble last? I said, Lord, tell me how long will trouble last, Jesus. I know somebody out there listening to my voice, wanting the same words. Lord, tell me how long the struggle won't last. How long my kids gonna be bad? Lord, how long? Tell me, Jesus. Tell me, Jesus. Tell me, Jesus. Tell me. Tell me how long will trouble last? Sometimes you gotta get down on your knees and talk to the Lord and say, Lord, tell me. I wanna know, tell me how long. Fellas, I want you to ease up to the mic and help me say, tell me how long.
Have you heard about the great deal on the Cute Leaf diaper? For $12.99, you get 50 premium grade A diapers, sizes newborn to 5. And for just $78, you can get 300 in a case, all sizes. Now that's a deal. Go to your local Piggly Wiggly for purchase. It's available also online at discountdiaperworld.com or call the number on the screen for same-day free delivery.
Black History Month honors and tributes. We pay tribute to the legendary, the incomparable Mr. Fred Hammond.
Everybody lift your hands if you know that Jesus isn't worthy. Let me hear you say,
Everybody lift your hands if you know that Jesus is worthy.
lift your hands, Jesus is worthy. Open up, let's give it.
Open up and give it
Oh,
praise.
yeah.
Let's do it in
Yeah.
a hurry.
If you love him, let's glory.
If you love him, let's glorify him. So
Glorify him.
Say rejoice. Say. Somebody scream. Let the people look on. Let the people look on. Yeah. By you, people. Somebody say,
Hey, hey. Come on, clap your hands. We come to celebrate the King. We're going to go out on this one. Is that all right? Everybody clap, clap. Come on and clap your hands. Yeah. Right here. Let's celebrate our King. He's the ruler of everything. Lift his name on high. We're going to do the fast version. He's worthy of all praise. He's the Lord God and Ancient of Days. Lift his name on high. Come on, Zion, we praise. He's awesome and glorious, excellent King. Say, righteous and glorious. Say, hey, let's celebrate our King. He's the ruler of everything. Let's lift his name on high. Hey, oh, he's worthy of all praise. He's the Lord God and Ancient of Days. Let's lift his name on high. Y'all got it. Hey, he's awesome and glorious, excellent King. Oh, righteous and glorious. Let's lift him up. Hey, righteous and glorious, ever victorious. He's reigning over us. He's a great God. Come on, move your feet. One more time. Righteous and glorious, ever victorious. He's reigning over us. He's a great God. Let's go. He's a great God. Come on and clap your hands if you know. Hey, he's a great God. And greatly to be praised. He's a great God. Greatly to be praised. He's a great God. Say, he's a great God. Let's lift it up. Say, he's a great
singing when you see me living right. When you see a good God Almighty living right. When you see me living right. You see, Lord.
We've all been there. They just want to explore and have fun. Well, here's something you can clap about, something you can read books about, or just relax and let go. Introducing the all-new Cute Leaf baby diaper. Keeps your baby drier.
Roy Entertainment and Columbia's Praise 95.7 FM and 1170 AM presents The Fresh Prince of Quartet. Friday night musical, Friday, August 18th at Gladson's Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, 7156 Cabin Creek Road in Hopkins. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a start time at 6:45. On Saturday, August 19th, the musical continues with a musical gala, The Favor or 40, honoring Harvey Watkins Jr. Also honoring two pioneer groups, the Singing Stars and the Cavaliers, at the Wiley Kennedy Center, 1037 Eastman Street in Columbia. Doors open at 4 p.m. Start times at 4:45. It's a musical weekend, Friday night, August 18th at Ladson Chapel, 7156 Cabin Creek Road in Hopkins. Saturday, August 19th, the Wiley Kennedy Center, 1037 Eastman Street in Columbia. Two great nights, two big events, one bundle cost $50 before August 1st. For more info, search Columbia's Praise 95.7 FM and 1170 AM Facebook page. Get your tickets at Columbia's Praise Studios, 201 Columbia Mall Boulevard, Wednesday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. For more details, call 803-834-4251.
We're gonna do a little old school. I got a little something special for you today. Got my brother with me. Got the whole gang. Let's just have a good time in the Lord. We're just letting you know we're calling on help today. You ever find yourself in a place that you don't know what to say? Yeah, the things you depended on gone, all gone. You realize you couldn't do it on your own. I used to want to understand your plan, Lord. Now all I want to see is your hand. My heart is open so wide, even though there's so much pain inside. While I'm on this journey, I need you, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Jesus, finish well, and I know I will be alright. I need you to help me, to finish well.
Thank you, Cam.
When I'm tired of the load that I must bear, you let me know, Lord, that you're still there. Lord, you're the strength in my weakness. You're the words when I'm speechless. God, give me the faith to see where you're taking me. So even when I'm afraid, I still believe. Tell me, please hear the pain in my praise. Let me know you're listening, Lord, and you care. This journey, help me, Lord, help me. Oh Lord, I need you, Jesus. And I know you'll be right there. Help me, along the way. I know somebody, all you gotta do is wait on him. He will answer prayer. Yes, he will. Oh, he will. Yes, he will. Don't give up. Oh, yeah. Oh, help is on the way. You gotta believe that, hey, yeah. Don't give up on
like a Baptist preacher.
All right. Getting ready.
Let him use you. I like what you
Jordan
say.
so far.
You ought to tell him.
Getting ready to move on to the podcast.
South Carolina, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Mickens family!
Y'all ready? Y'all know what time it is. Do what I want you to do. Come on. Get up out of the seats. Shout to you. Better. Come on. Get up out of the seat. Come on now. Shout, shout, shout. Get up out of your seat and shout to you. Better. Get up out of your seat and shout to you. Better. Wow! Y'all want to hear a little bit more of that? Let's go one more round. Tell your neighbor, ain't no party.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Lord have mercy. Y'all put them hands together. Help us sing a little bit of this song. Look at here. Woo! Time is winding up now. Start again, y'all. Keep on. Start one more time. Time is. Start again, boy. Time is. Are you ready to get your house in order? Y'all better get your house in order. You gotta get your house in order. You gotta get your house in order. You know why the time is winding up. Start again, y'all. Time is every day, every day. Time is every day of my life. Time is just a
Mothers, tell your daughters.
tell your daughter.
Fathers, tell your sons. Preachers,
Preachers,
tell your members.
tell your members.
Don't let him catch you with your work undone. You know why? Time.
Every day, y'all. Time is every day of my life. Time Let me ask you, Jamie, James, Justin, Cole, Mitch, Jeffrey, will y'all be ready when Jesus come back for his children?
All right, guys, what's going on? We are here. We are back. We are ready to enjoy today, right? We are ready to enjoy today. What's going on? This your guy Todd Mickens just coming to you live in the flesh this morning. Y'all tell me, can you hear me? What's going on? I see we got a couple people in the chat. The chat is not very full this morning, but I thank God for the people who are here. Let me go back and make sure I don't leave out the ones who've already been here. Of course, Tammy McLean, appreciate you. Cheryl Snell, Sandra Sumter, Francis Suber, my man Craig Stukes, and I see we got Christopher Wormley's watching, and Pella Myers Jr. What's going on, God? Listen, first of all, thank God for this day, that this is the day He has made, that we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Yeah, thanks, sure. Appreciate you, sure. Yes, we were blessed to celebrate 22 years of as they say, holy matrimony. This past Friday we celebrated 22 years, and it seemed like, man, I was telling when we were just talking, I said, man, it just seemed like it was yesterday. We started trying to remember some of the things from the very beginning that we remember, all the way from the wedding, just from our first night at the apartment we had gotten, and I had to forgot some of the things that happened after the wedding. It was I mean, nothing bad happened. I just, she said she remember stopping by some way, picking something up and doing this and doing that. I was like, man, I don't remember none of that. But I do remember the day that we looked into each other's eyes and said that we do. And I was so thankful that we did. Like I said, 22 years of marriage, and I can imagine in my mind, for those of you who have been married and divorced or still together, there is no perfect relationship, perfect marriage. We've had our definite ups and our definite downs. We've been appreciate that, Brother Craig. We've experienced disappointments to each other. We have disappointed each other. We have felt like the other person has. I mean, this is just real life talk. We felt the good and the bads of relationships. And I must say, it's there ain't no, of course, a lot of people that tell you, you can, as long as you, we'll throw God in everything now. And I want y'all to follow me on this, and don't nobody get crazy mad if you don't understand what I'm talking about. But a lot of people, they're just you can't be forgetting. Oh, yeah. But people, God is definitely, in the Bible and all that, is definitely a great centerpiece of your relationship. But I don't care how much marriage counseling you get, there is really nothing that prepares you for those first arguments, for those first disagreements, for those first set of disappointments. The only thing that prepares you for those things is experience. And I was talking with some preachers yesterday. Me and my wife, we we did a little quick little, I guess, a little quick little celebrating trip, and I also witnessed someone else get married as well, and it was just amongst family and friends amongst that. But anyway, we was talking to the preachers, and we just saying that how we have got to stop the false narrative that just because you have given your life over to Christ, or you have turned away from your wicked sins, that everything is going to be all right. We have to speak truth to the people. We have to let them know, listen, you still gonna have some trials and tribulations, but with the help of the good man upstairs, you will be able to get through these things. Because I think when we put forth the false narratives, that if you do this and if you do that and if you do that, nothing's gonna go wrong. And the thing is, first of all, it's a false narrative, and even they say, well, he won't put more on you than you can bear. Well, if that statement is true, then that means he's gonna allow some things to happen to or around you because he knows you are strong enough to handle those things. He'll never leave us and forsake us. He already telling us then that through your trials and through your hardships that he will be there. But even listen, Jesus himself had to go through some hardship, right? Do you remember? And listen, me and another preacher talking yesterday, and I would tell him, I said, man, I don't even quote no scriptures word for word. I put them in my own words, and we were just laughing. I mean, but think about it. Jesus even asked, listen, why hast thou forsaken me? If anybody was living right, Jesus was living right. And just to example, and I was also speaking, man, this is going to be just like an impromptu conversation today. People said Jesus was blameless, he was perfect and all this. And I was saying, how a lot of churches, expect so much from these pastors and leaders of the church, and that the pastors don't have leeway to be human anymore once they become your pastors. And maybe pastors and leaders, maybe this is fault of your own, where we put forth this fake narrative during the process of being hired or being courted as a candidate for pastorization. All right. We are so nice, and we're prompt, and we're on time for everything. Our conversation tone changes. We talk proper when we're looking for positions, and we forget that we don't let the people know who we really are. And what happens is, when you get these churches and you've talked all proper during the 1,300 interviews that Dave gave you, and you've made it down to the last 3 or 4 people that are candidate for the pastoralship of the church, and you and your family, you dress nice every Sunday for church, you're on time, you at the Bible studies, you at this, you don't miss anything, and your sermons are dead on point, because those are sermons you had in the midst of seeking this church. And then after you get to church, then the real you shows up, right? Then, because I told people, listen, I need you to know, if you ever consider my services as a leader, or pastor, whatever, what you see is what you get for real. I am me all the time. Listen. Okay. Everybody said, well, you ought to be what listen, Jesus even went in the temple and started turning the tables over. So you think he didn't have an issue? as perfect as he was, Jesus had an issue. Could you say that? Well, maybe he couldn't control. And say, I know somebody gonna say, "Wait a minute, now watch what you say about Jesus." But was it at the moment where Jesus listen, Jesus could have handled that situation any kind of way? He could have handled that any kind of way, but he went in there and started turning over tables and stuff. You think he went? Do you think Jesus went into the temple and started asking people to move out the way before he started turning the tables over? Now, I need y'all to think about this now. Do you think Jesus, because he was displeased? See, people don't think that you are that Jesus was just as where he was flesh, okay. But let me just say, he was just as human as us, but he had feelings. Remember, he said, "Lord, if it be your will, let this cup pass by me, please." He would listen, Lord, I don't want to deal with no pain. But we forget that preachers, the people in leadership go through and have situations where we get mad, we get sad. We need the extra boost. We need somebody to pray for us. We need excuse me, y'all. Something just happened. I want to make sure I didn't lose y'all. One moment. Y'all hold on. Hope we still there. I got to find out if okay. Beautiful destination or reconnect. Listen, guys, if you're still there in the chat, type in 1 because it looked like I lost y'all. I had a notification that came up real quick. Type in the chat. Trisha Whitlock, what's going on, Trish? Okay, we good. Craig say we good. But yeah, back to it. People, yeah, thank you, Trish. Thank you, Cheryl. Pastor Darrell, appreciate you. Yeah, people forget that Jesus all is good. Okay, everybody give it to you. All right, yeah. People think, I haven't heard many preachers really deal that, because everybody and I want y'all to be clear with this, that Jesus is the example of what we should be like. But Jesus had some issues and some situations and some concerns himself. So why would we tell people as leaders of the church that when you come to Christ, you ain't gonna have no issues and problems? Jesus had them. Yeah. Matter of fact, think about it. And I'm about to bust some bubbles in here. Even Jesus, even when he was around his congregation, his church or whatever, even his let's just say his under shepherds, his armor bearers, or his disciples, it's been several that he would tell, "Hey, y'all go ahead, I meet y'all on the other side." Man, y'all better get with me in here. Listen, sometimes Jesus ain't even want to be around the people. And we forget that the pastors are human and they need time. I was talking and I was saying, I don't think people really understand after a pastor has, first of all, prepared and seek God for his sermon, prepared his sermon, especially if he's not a full-time pastor who has to still work and provide for his family, and even when pastors are not quote unquote full-time pastors, but they are considered full-time pastors, because I think a full-time pastor is a pastor who doesn't have to work another job because the church fully supports and take care of everything, take care of his financial needs as far as he doesn't have to get another job because he is available 24/7, and I'm gonna talk about that too today. But Jesus even got away from his disciples. Listen, man, I meet y'all on the other side. Listen, y'all go ahead. Yeah. like I said, Jesus got mad in the temple. What makes you think I can't get mad? I can't have some type of attitude. Jesus said, Lord, if it be your will, could you let this cup pass by me? Why you think he want that cup to pass? He know he had to deal with it. You think Jesus, how many of y'all remember when you know you got that phone call or your parents got that phone call from school and you know when you got home, you know what was waiting on you? Huh? You know that Lord have mercy. I didn't act up in school. They didn't call my mom. Matter of fact, they didn't call your mama and your daddy in front of you. And you know that's the listen. It normally take you so long to get home from the school bus, but that is the shortest bus ride home, or either walk back home in the world. And you be listen, Lord, please let this cup pass by me. Huh? And so back to the false narrative that people give, all the way from relationships to and we tell these lies about, you know, if you put God first and listen, mind you, if we got any preachers on here, you can chime in anytime, disagree, agree, or whatever. You know, as long as you do this, as long as you pay your tithes, as long as you give your first fruits, as long as you give your offerings, whatever business you start, he's gonna bless it, and it's gonna 100-fold, 24,000-fold return. It's gonna flourish. And we forget to tell the people the reality that, you know, normally the first 5 years of any company or business struggle and stands the test of time to possibly failure. See, we want the success without the struggle. Man, so much I want to talk about today. Let me go back and thank some of the ones who have tuned in so far again. Because I miss I want to go back to our inspirational thought today from Craig Stooks, but I wanted to thank some people who are looking and tuning in right now. I want to thank you again for being here. Again, Craig, yeah, man, appreciate you, man. We had 22 years. Now Craig's inspiration. Matter of fact, since we're here, we're gonna go ahead and read it. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Marianne Williamson, forgiveness is a choice we must make for our own sake before bitterness takes root and defiles many. You know, it's ironic that you talk about that, Craig, and this is so very true. We was talking about yesterday, you know, not only do family members need to forgive and forget, well, let me just need to forgive and move on, because there's a lot of things that happen to you that people do to you that you may not can forget about, you know, but you need to forgive and move on. And we just talking about how many families don't even know why they're still at odds with each other or their kids, and it's just going from generation to generation. All they know is back in the day, mama them didn't speak to somebody them, and they didn't. And a lot of stuff, because I heard my mama say one time, a long time ago, about her and somebody used to fight in school, you know. And when I knew who her children was, I didn't fool with those people in school, because my mama used to fight them. I mean, I'm mad for, matter of fact, I wasn't even mad at the children. I would just know that your mama and my mama used to fight a long time ago. I mean, it just stuff we just latch on to because we think. How many of y'all done heard this before? Oh no, we don't deal with them. We don't fool with them because one person in the family done something. We done shunned the whole family. One person done you wrong in the Williams family, and you done disown the whole Williams family. Just using Williams as an example there. All right. Pastor Darrell Bass said I was speaking. I you know, and I appreciate you. And he said we bleed and go through like everyone else, and it's important that to me, it's important that your members see who you are. It's okay for you to be the strong, even in your family as a head of your house. Uh, I kind of dealt with this early, and I didn't know how to be the strong one who showed strength all the time, but was also able to show weakness. And what I mean was, I was able to show my vulnerability, but still be strong in the midst. I just thought I had to keep this solid face. Nothing didn't bother me. I was this and that. We had some situations that happened early in our marriage, and because we was young and new to marriage and finances, there's some decisions that we made that was we got caught up in a scam. I can tell you that much. I don't need to go into the details, but and I did what I thought I needed to do as a provider. I just made a move. I just did what I had to do because I would think, listen, my family got to be protected. We got to do this and do that. Not really knowing if I had to just sit back. But see, again, now all during this time, I was going to church and doing this and doing and this is where you start seeing people start to question God or question, your beliefs, because you're like, man, I do everything that they say to do, it, man. Why I'm going, through these trials and tribulations? TD Jake said it best, because life happens. Because life happens. What's going on to my good friend Beth? Beth, what's going on? Beth, you keep getting that rest until you are fully released. Beth, I don't want to hear nothing about you feeling better today and you think you're gonna try something. You make sure that you are fully exonerated to get back into your normal routine. All right, and this again, and Greg, thanks for tuning in all the way from Louisville, Kentucky. Gregory Chaffin Sr., appreciate you. The Gospel Starlights, what's going on? How you doing, man? Appreciate you for definitely tuning in. We got a comment right here. When you come to Christ, you're not going to have issues. What? If anything, you're going to have more issues. Being a Christian is not the easy path, but the hard one. But the only path. Okay, yeah, man. I in a Bible, no, in a Sunday school, I bought that up. Craig said, "Don't mean to preach." Oh, you preaching in here though? You in here preaching? I might have to see if you maybe you trying to take over my ministry this morning. Yeah, forgive but never forget. Yeah, and that's when I was talking about. There's a lot of things that we need to forgive and move on. And like I said, we hold too many gripes that pass on down to our children and our children's children, and you wonder why families never really, because and there's another thing that I talked about that I want us to touch on. We as family, and I'm not even talking about Christian families. It's just we as family. I'm not talking about black families, white family. We as families, we have to learn how to talk. There has been many, many, many moons of misunderstandings because nobody is willing to talk. First of all, you want somebody to hear what you got to say, but you got to listen to somebody yourself. Yeah, the topic is all over the place today, but it's led in my spirit to tell y'all this, man. Yeah. See, first of all, communication. In order to communicate, there must be a receiver of the information from both sides. Okay? There must be a receiver of information from both sides. Once you have, and listen, a lot of people want to they want to spew, and I see this, and excuse me, ladies, I don't want y'all to think I'm picking on y'all today. I see this a lot when I see couples argue. Let's just be honest. Women normally can out argue a man because they think quick on their feet. Women get the roll of their neck, and they get, and it's this, and this. And I had to learn, And like I said, me and my wife been married for 22 years. So I remember early in the relationship because I didn't really understand the communications or whatever. And one day we had then I don't know what we disagreed on or whatever. And my wife was giving me piece of her mind. And then, normally the conversation be over, or either we just argued because I never really had a point, I guess. I guess just arguing back and then I remember this vaguely. After she said she had to say, I think she had to roll her neck at me and everything. I think she rolled her neck real good. I said, okay, well, now that you said what you had to say, let me tell you how I feel on the situation. And I remember she kind of turned and looked like what? And I'm telling you, this had to be probably our first year in. Like I said, man, when you listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, it ain't nothing wrong with disagreeing and arguing, but where we fall short is we stay in the argument. We don't ever get out the argument. We stay in the argument. Yeah. So even in, these conversations I like having like this because it don't only just deal in the church, it deals in life. A lot of church families could iron out a whole bunch of wrinkles if they just have a conversation and talk and don't let it be so one-sided. Let somebody else talk. Let somebody else have something to say in the meeting. You can't dictate the whole meeting and the meeting go exactly the way you want it to. And 9 times out of 10, if you have done that, if the meeting is dictated how you already have you already have some type of agenda. Hold up, guys. This light just went on. I got to have this light on. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, we so quick to tell somebody off and get them a piece of their mind. And what it is, when you run into somebody who ain't gonna let you walk off before they give you a piece of their mind, then you shocked, then you hurt. So my question, how you so hurt, but you got to tell me everything that you feel. You got to tell me how disappointed you was in me, what I didn't do right, how I should have did this and I should have did that. And then after that, now you finished. No, okay. I need you to wait about 2 to 3 minutes while I run down this list on YouTube. Let me tell you what you ain't doing right. Let me tell you how you ain't meeting up to my standards. Because that's what it is. It's your personal standards that you have on people that you never really let them know. We insinuate your spouse or your partner knows exactly what you want. Right. I know listen, y'all ain't got to talk to me. Let me go back and get some of these comments before I get too far and I can't remember what the comments was in reference to. Okay, Craig had already said forgive and not forget. And I was talking to Beth, tell her make sure she getting right. She said, let me tell you, Left, I'm kind of glad Sunday Thunder is canceled today. Oh, really? Okay. Because I'm gonna move slow with me. Yeah, go ahead. Nicole to get you right. Yeah, decades. Beth, listen, Beth, and I'm guessing we're referring to just disagreement and things that people not liking, people don't know why. And listen, you ever went to a family reunion, a meeting, or party, or somewhere, and you getting ready to speak to somebody, and somebody be like, I don't know, I wouldn't fool with them, and you like, what? I'll just tell you, we don't. Why you don't fool with them? I need to know. Did they kill somebody? Do they got a machete? Are they going to, whatever they did to you or your auntie or your Grammy or your papa, are they about to do that? What happened? And then another thing, if you didn't keep stuff so secret and you let family, and now I'm about to touch on something. This is why I believe so much ancestral relationship has happened through the years of families where we have I don't know whether you say aunts and uncles who have messed with nieces and nephews, or the cousins who have messed with it. A lot of this thing happened because people want to keep stuff so hush hush. No, you need to tell the old little man, I don't want to call no names because somebody gonna be like, oh, he talking about me. Well, old little Willie been messing with them girl, y'all don't need to keep your children around here. You need to, you can still love him. And, you know, I have seen, and this is disturbing to me. I have seen movies and documentaries and male and females talk about how their mothers knew what was going on, but because of the love that they had for this man, they just pushed it under the rug. I need to come back to that because I can go all day about that. I don't want to talk about that. Lord have mercy. That makes me that really, I have like a no respect when I see people who talk about how their mothers, they get mad at the daughters for letting them know that their husbands or boyfriend have messed with them, and instead of they checking the boyfriend, they checking the daughters. I don't get that, but nevertheless, Craig says communication is key. And listen, and listen, that again, the relationship in the home, on your job, in the church, it has to be some type of two-way communication. The communication just can't come from one side, and you don't wait for the rebuttal or the response. I think a lot of things can be severed in families and in churches or in business if we wait on the response or you may not want to hit, but you have to hear the response of the person you just told off, or you told everything that you had a problem with. Because you don't get a clear understanding, and that word understanding goes right into what's going on. Vanessa Dunn Guyton says you can't truly understand the importance for forgiveness until you do it and release it. You know, I can speak about me because I like being transparent, open, whatever the word, because I don't know if I'm using the right word. I remember there was an individual that wronged me, and I couldn't stand to see the sight of them, whether it was on Facebook, social media, in person. I couldn't stand to hear their name. Couldn't stand it. Oh my God. Oh boy, they wrong. I was just hot to the teeth. And this very statement that Dr. Guyton is saying, years later, I think I had forgot about the situation, but when I saw this person again, it's like my skin cringed. And they might have forgot what they did, or either just thought, hey, this many, many years later, I know he ain't still tripping on that. And it wasn't until I was like, you know what? I ain't seen this person in some years. This person ain't seen me. It's a life that moved. We done both hopefully grown as men, as people of God, and here I am holding something, not realizing that you holding on to the disdain, or I don't know if I'm using the right. Listen, y'all, I'm trying to talk properly educated here, right? When you hold on to that, you really, and my mom said this, and I don't know exactly who she got it from, but she says it, and I hear my dad said it a couple of times too. When you hold grudges, or when you see the sight of somebody and they make, when you walking down the church, I know this happened at church. You had the family use of the house, and you walking in a direction and you see somebody and you totally go the opposite direction. You give that person control over you. You give that person power over you. That person controls your movement. When somebody walks in the room and you all happy, and also now you done change everybody. Girl, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Him, her. You have given that person complete control and power over you and your situation. And you know what that person do? Them people going to sleep every night, not waking up in the nightmare worrying about if you mad at them or not. And here it is, your daughter, your son, or your family member. Because listen, you only gonna follow your parents' lead now. I ain't tell y'all, like, listen, if my mom and daddy ain't like somebody, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I ain't like it. Don't even know why I didn't like him. Don't know why. Listen, y'all better put a 1 in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. Your mama and daddy, or big mama, or granddaddy, or somebody, if they ain't like somebody, you ain't like them either. You ain't even know why. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Let me get some more of these comments because I want to make sure I stay in contact. It was sad and finally when I was old enough to see what exactly was going on, I brought them together. Sadly, it was my grandmother and her sisters, and they only had a few years left by then to be happy again. But at least they made it's sad. And you know what? A lot of times the other one is looking for the other one just for a phone call. The other one, listen, sometimes these families, these people that's been bickering and arguing for years, they just waiting. And you know what? You may never fully fix the situation, but sometimes a conversation will let the other person know, listen, okay, now I know we got some odds and we don't agree with something, but I know you love me. A lot of times that's all. Listen, sometimes you may never sit all the way down and talk about stuff that happened back in 19012. Right? 19012. That's right. I said 19012. But just to know, just to have that eye-to-eye contact, just to know that your brother, your sister, your aunt, your granny, or whoever took the time out to talk to you. And listen, it's too late when they gone. It's too late when they per se at the mall, or they didn't got dressed up in a suit for the last time, you know. And I'm not marking anybody, but how many times we have gone to funerals or going to the wake and you see people, they get up to the, oh Lord, I wish you here. Oh, I wish you was here. I'm so sad. And this is a true statement. Your what you saying has definitely fallen on deaf ears. Yep. Craig says, there's a reason God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listening to others is the only way we can grow. You don't grow 1 inch, but no, you don't. I'm so happy you said that. Appreciate it. Dr. Guyton says, ooh, you're talking now. Incest is real. Yeah, incest is real life. And we protect the abusers. That's an entire show. Yeah, that's it. That's why I say, man, it kind of irks my nerve. And I hope and I pray to God that there's no one in here that has experienced that situation either way, whether you were the abuser or you were the abused or you were the one who hid the information. Because when you hide those, when you don't, and this is the thing, everybody think that they family is so, we don't want to destroy the family name. Man, you better go sit your behind down somewhere. You better tell them that auntie messing with them little children, the uncle messing with them little children, daddy then messing them children, granddaddy then messing them children, whoever, cousin then messing them children. And let me tell y'all something. Grandparents, parents, you better be mindful where you leave your children. You better be mindful who house you let somebody stay at. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You better be mindful of these things. You let your children stay anyway while you go have a good time. And this may not, because I don't want nobody to go blaming their people for nothing, but you ever, I mean, I'm gonna talk about it. It disturbs me when I see these young ladies. You don't see as many guys talk about it because they're ashamed as a man to let. There was one lady, she was telling a story how their stepfather not only raped her and the other 2 sisters, but it also everybody in the house, the young boys too. He would call all them into the room, or either go to somebody's room and say, well, listen, whatever I do to the one, I would have to do to the other. And this Lord have mercy. there are people, individuals, and I call them heroes. In the midst of that happening, there were people who protected their younger brothers and sisters by making sure, because they knew how demonic or evil this person was, that they would pretty much throw themselves in a line of fire. No. Don't mess with them. Whatever you listen, just no, don't mess with them. They would take the punishment to save their little brothers and sisters. Yeah. Dr. Guyton, this is a whole nother show all by itself. And again, this is conversations that we don't. I was saying yesterday, we was talking with some preachers, and I was like, if we just talked and had a conversation, a lot of stuff wouldn't continue to go on. And I'm gonna say it, mothers, fathers, listen, whoever, I ain't even gonna say mothers. If your son or daughter has given you the inclination that somebody has fondled or touched them, you have to at the least to look into it. It's your responsibility as a parent, as an auntie, as a whoever, to look after your nieces and nephews, your children. Listen. Incest is more real than we want to let on, and I don't think it's a community that it doesn't touch. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a there's not a religion that it doesn't touch. There's not a Baptist. It's not a holiness thing. It's a thing. It ain't one. It's not a cultural thing. It's not, Bev said, good morning, Mike Span. What's going on, my good brother? Appreciate you, man. Miss Farmer, what's going on? What's going on? Glad you're tuning in. Gregory, let's see what Greg had to say here. I want to make sure we agree to disagree, but we have and show consideration for each other's concern, because we have that right to give our opinion. That would bring understanding, but we have to. Yeah. Now, I must admit, when I first got married, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I first got married. I was a wild west, country western type married guy. I ain't know, that you supposed to give you, there was a two-way conversation. I think I remember maybe one of our first arguments, I was like, shoot, well, hey, yo, we getting ready to argue. Let me get myself together, because I know I'm and listen, let me tell you something, funny quick story. This is why you need to learn as much about your spouse as possible. I remember I don't know what we was arguing about particularly, and my wife, she probably know what I'm about to say. We was living in our first apartment, and it was a small bathroom downstairs. All this bathroom had room enough to do was for you to walk in, turn around, and sit down and use the toilet, and just look to the left and wash your hands. It was our first, our first living quarters together. We thought we did something. We got married, had a place to stay. Boom. So we was fussing about something. I'm trying to get my point across, and she's saying what she got to say, but she keep kind of like walking off. And I'm like, man, she walking off. I'm trying to talk that, but so we upstairs. I follow her upstairs, and we talking. Boom, boom, boom. She talking. She, and I'm like, yeah, but boom, 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 boom. She like, yeah, such. She go down the stairs. I fall into the kitchen, because we trying to get this thing right, and then she go into the bathroom, and I walk in behind in the bathroom, and next thing I know, my wife started doing the Matrix in that thing. She start, so I'm sitting there like, I'm like, man, she said, don't walk up on me, I'm claustrophobic. And man, in the midst of all that arguing for at least 15 to 20 minutes, both of us just looked at each other and laughed. She was like, because I didn't know she was claustrophobic. You know, I mean, but when she went into the bathroom and the bathroom was small, but when she turned around, I was right there. She just, you know, she didn't swing at me. She was like, you know, trying to get room, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like, you know, and she said, "Don't walk up on me. I'm claustrophobic." And I said, "What?" She didn't tell you. I looked at her. I said, "What? Claustrophobic?" And we were looking at each other's eyes, and then we just bust out laughing. I don't even think we really remembered after that moment what we was fussing about. But from then on, but see, I listened. You know, I listened to what was going on. I had to take, you know, and it's a good thing that I did to continue to pursue the conversation, because I would have never known. I could have walked up on her, something. She could have done bust me in my head or something. She remember, hey yo, she coming in here right now. She laughing. She laughing right now. She yeah, they appreciate it, baby. Yeah, she remember you. You remember that, don't you? Don't walk up on me. I'm claustrophobic. Yeah, she thank you, appreciate it. My wife has bought in this is our sponsor, Hell Hot Coffee. Let me see how hot it is. Let me see. That thing hot now. She trying to burn the hell out of my lips this morning. Oh, it's hot. It's good though. But yeah, that was funny, man. Yeah, she started doing all that, and man, I was like, you know, yeah, yeah, man. Tanya Davis, good morning. Thanks for tuning in, Tanya. Tanya, where you tuning in from? City and state, Tanya. Come on, Tanya. Now Tanya, you know the routine. Now, city and state, where you tuning in from? Yes, that part I hate it. It's yeah. What's going on, Bishop Wade? How you doing, brother? What's going on? One of my good friends who I was talking about, who I was one of the good preachers I was with yesterday, the Reverend Dr. Stephen Bridges. We had some great conversations dealing with church members, family, and you know it was ironic spending time with my wife's side of the family, which I consider them as my family as well. I feel like I'm one of the sons. 22 years ago, he stood beside me as I stood to say that I do to the woman that I love, and his wife was my wife's. Listen, last night we was at the table talking, right, and I forgot what the lady is to the bride, and I said, Christy, use my wife, and I stopped because I couldn't figure out the word, and I said, man, I was about to say pallbearer, and man, everybody was like, man, man, there ain't no pallbearer, man, it's Major of Honor or whatever that thing is. Yeah, I said she was my wife, pallbearer. Man, they was like, man, but boy, we had a great time last night. Thank you, Pastor Bridges, and the hospitality that was extended to me and my. Matter of fact, Pastor Bridges, where we was at, he was the one who united us together yesterday, 22 years ago, and it was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing that I was able to, and it wasn't even planned like this, but me and my wife was able to go down there and spend time with family who have just recently joined together in holy matrimony, and I don't think it's any type of secret or nothing like that. But when they put it out on their social media, that's when I speak on it a little bit more. But I think sometimes we move so fast, especially when somebody dies, something, man. You know, I mean, the person they ain't even got cold yet, and somebody Somebody done put the information all on social media. Family members got to find out how the people done died. You know, and they don't even know their own cousins and brothers and sisters are dead, but somebody find out to put it on social media. So, you know, but anyway, it was a beautiful thing that we was able to be a part of somebody else uniting together in holy matrimony, right? Yeah. There you go, Tanya. Tanya says she tuned in from Wilmington, Delaware. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Chris, you better watch out what might be in that hell. Listen, you right. You right. Because anytime I say something she don't like, she make this coffee hot as hell. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, thanking her. Listen, 22 years, man. 22 years, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, and I love it, and it's getting better and better. Craig said, nah, man, listen, you know, if it's one thing, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, it takes a strong woman to love me, to understand me, to support me. Now, and I'm going to say, and I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but I consider myself a nice looking young man. I consider myself to be able to, in my days of high school, not popular, but, you know, I could have a girlfriend or two if I wanted to in high school. And there were probably girlfriends back. And listen, don't y'all sit on here and act like y'all ain't had girlfriends or boyfriends back in the day that you thought that you was going to be with. Let's get that straight right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you something. Out of all the girlfriends that I had or thought I would have had or would have been with, I know for sure with where I'm at in my life, I chose the for sure one who is perfect for me and to deal with me. Huh? Now I'm gonna listen. Let me say this again, because some of y'all, I don't want y'all to get it twisted. I know I wasn't a playboy and all that stuff, but I had girlfriends, and I'm pretty sure she had boyfriends. Some of y'all had girlfriends and boyfriends, and your spouse had somebody else before they met you. But you can listen, I can say for sure, with where I'm at in my life, I know for sure I made the right decision for my holy matrimony. That'll preach right there. Mm-hmm. Did you make the right decision for holy matrimony? Huh? Yeah. Everything that I am, I'm talking about from the show, from the things I do, from fitness. Because listen, y'all ain't gonna tell me. See, I'm gonna be real. Y'all ain't gonna tell me that y'all ain't never just scroll down Facebook or whatever, or you see some people who you used to be in a relationship with or be friends with or whatever, and you say, Lord have mercy, thank you. Thank you for keeping me from running into that brick wall. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all done see like, God, dog, he looked bad. Or dog, she looked bad. Or dog, is that her? Is that him? Man, he ain't got no toothless. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Every aspect of what I do, my wife fits. Yeah. Pastor Wade says most of the relationship arguments can be avoided by simple slowing down, communicating, listening, and responding with respect. Become best friends who can love through any hard Yeah, man. Listen, you are dead on. You are dead on, brother. Pastor Bridges says people don't stay together 2 weeks in these days. No, they don't. They don't stay together. First of all, and let me say this. First of all, and I got to put this on the ladies. I'm sorry, ladies. No, I'm not sorry, because the truth is the truth. First of all, most weddings or most things are there is more focus on the wedding per se than there is on the commitment. I'm gonna do like Dr. Reese do, and I'm gonna take a sip on that. Most situations now, traditionally, I guess it's been the way that the girl gets the wedding of her dreams, or whatever, or the focus is on the dress, the focus is on the ring, the focus is on the venue, the focus is on people coming to see me on my day. The relationship takes a back seat to the commitment. Because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of times, a lot of families go into debt before they even unite as a family, because they spent so much on the day before. You listen. You have fathers who are giving up these lavish amounts of money. Excuse me, guys, for their daughters to be married off, just to be unmarried in less than a year or so. And I think when we can get back on the focus of the relationship. Now, I'm not saying nobody shouldn't have a good, if your money can afford it, hey, you can have one at the castle for all I care. But as long as I can look like I did with my beautiful wife, we was able to look into each other's eyes and say what we meant to each other and really meant, and then look back at that thing and say, man, what a beautiful day that we had. We was able to be amongst friends, family, friends that cared about us. And wow, what a beautiful day. Now, yeah, me as a father, I would want to give my daughter whatever she wants as far as a marriage, as far as anything. And fathers are mess around and go in debt trying to get their daughters these extravagant weddings and stuff. The whole 401k pension be gone, and then they ain't together after 2 and 3 years. Let me tell you something. You don't get that money back. You don't go back and say, hey, well, I know y'all marriage ain't making. Can we go back and get that money for the reception hall? You don't get that back now. Yeah. You don't get that back now. Beth laughed. Beth, what you laugh? Tay said that's right. Beth said, then you stroll the pigs looking for the one where they yep. Saturday when we go to Jamaica, I would celebrate mine and my. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome. Okay, celebrate 40th anniversary of your first date. Now that's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome. 40 years is a long time, Beth. Congratulations to you and your husband. It's just a good thing. It's just a good thing. Most people want the wedding, but not the marriage. See, there we go. Listen. First of all, Pastor Bridges, let me tell you something right now. Now, I know you're a pastor and you got your church and everything, but let me tell you something. This here is my church, okay? My church is St. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans 10 and 9, Baptist, Apostolic, International, multicultural denomination, coaching center church by Lord and Savior. I'm the pastor here. I give the inspirational words unless I let my Deacon Craig Stoops do it. You don't come on here preaching at my church. Doc, you said something right there, Doc. Huh? You said something right there. Most people want the wedding, but not the marriage. The wedding is more important. I've seen women cry because they couldn't have a certain type of wedding, or they couldn't have a certain type of ring, or they couldn't have a certain type of whatever. Got to go, my man. Okay, yeah, man. Yeah. I sure would tell everybody at the Madison. I said, hey, man. Hey there, Tavisha, happy anniversary. Oh man, that's awesome, Beth. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I you know, I ain't gonna mess with y'all today. Y'all be done. Yeah. Listen, let me. I need to play a commercial for y'all, real quick. My wife says thanks, and Pastor Bridges says we have to show the world that being married is not overrated. Yeah, that's true. And let me say, times have changed. You say you don't see everybody's comments, Beth. Let me see. I don't know what to tell you, Beth. You might have to go out and come back in, but I mean, you good though, Beth. I know you don't worry about it. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna play one of my sponsors commercials here. Let y'all see. Yeah, y'all Discount Diaper World. I think it's an unbelievable deal. Y'all check it out.
We've all been there. They just want to explore and have fun. Well, here's something you can clap about, something you can read books about, or just relax and let go. Introducing the all-new Cute Leaf Baby Diaper. Keeps your baby drier.
All right, Cute Leaf Diaper. That's I know the guy personally. Amen. Sponsors. He's one of the advertisers on the show. Sponsorship keep us going. I appreciate you, brother Steven. Listen, go to your Piggly Wigglies, man. Everybody knows somebody that got some churn. And if I'm not mistaken, they got some adult diapers too. So if you need an adult diaper, just go ahead and look them on. I mean, ain't nobody got to know. We was talking about knockoffs yesterday too, just knockoff clothes and whatever. And I told my wife last week, I don't even know how we got on the conversation, but we talking about the difference in between knockoff and name brand stuff. And I was saying, somebody got to be looking at you mighty hard to want to know whether or not what you got on is the real thing or not. You all are, if you got to ask me, is that real? I'm gonna tell you, is you real? If you don't get out of my face, it was real when I paid for it. Yeah. But again, guys, marriage, relationships, man, things, just to look back over the 22 years that we've been married, man, it's like I said, my daughter's I remember she's pretty much almost a year after we got married. She was born. We got married July 21st. She was born that following year, May 29th. So that was let me see. Beth says, was it my cute? I know that's right. Beth, listen. I don't care if it's from Shein, from Amazon. Listen, wherever you from, what's the other Tmir or whatever, wherever you can get it from, man, just get it. Yeah, because the main thing is that it works, right? Is that it works. Yeah. But man, listen, We got an hour and 45 minutes. I think I'm gonna go 15 more minutes today, so that's gonna put us finishing up right around about 8:20. We're gonna finish up by 8:20 today, guys. Yeah, I know that's right. I know that's right, Beth. I know that's right. But yeah, man, marriage is so important, and let's ask this question. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I got a couple of preachers on here. Is marriage through the gospel eye? Okay, Beth, appreciate you. Is marriage through the gospel eye only considered, I don't want to say legal, but do you need man's documentation of a marriage license to be considered married in the gospel eye? Can a man and woman stay together and be married according to the gospel eye and not have a marriage license? Because I want to know, and this is good, where did the marriage license come into play for under the biblical terms? Maybe it's always been. I asked that question because I don't know. Pastor Bridges, Pastor Wade, huh? Come on. Dr. Guyton, Deacon Stoops, huh? Pastor Bass. Have we even thought about that? It does the government paperwork dictate the gospel marriage? Don't everybody answer at once. Matter of fact, let me see if I can look it up. When was marriage license implemented in the United States? That'd be a good question. Let's see. Here we go. When was the marriage license created? Marriage license application records from the government authorities are widely available starting from the mid-19th century. Some are available dating back from the 17th century in colonial America. Marriage licenses have been required since 1639 in Massachusetts, with their use gradually expanding to other jurisdictions. That's interesting news. Matter of fact, I think that might be a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down today. Yeah, that might be a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down today. But listen, I'm telling y'all again, man. Let me get back on track. Matter of fact, me and my wife, we got back late last night, so I could be here with you guys this morning. Plus, church service coming up. I have to be at 10, and like I said, we spent our 22nd anniversary weekend pretty much with the ones all the way from the preacher all the way to the best man, the matron of honor, not the pallbearer. The ones who had who was there with us from the beginning. Like I said, me and my wife, we had a nice wedding. I think I can pretty much remember everyone who was there. Like I say, guys, I would encourage any and everybody who's thinking about marriage or getting into marriage or listen, focus on the relationship and the commitment. Don't worry so much per se about, because listen, you're gonna run yourself crazy for the planning and the preparation of the wedding, and you listen, that ain't even a half of it. once you have united together, that's where the work really begins, and you have exasperated all your energy on getting the celebration or the ceremony. You know, yeah, yeah. You done put all your efforts into the ceremony and your dress and this and that, and you running yourself crazy. And like I said, half these people don't even stay together. You done spent all your daddy 401k money for somebody who you say you love, and y'all ain't even together 3 years. Now your daddy out of his hard earned 401k money, he done save up and work hard, double shift after double shift, you know. And here you is, daddy, I love him, I love him, I love him, I want this big wedding, and and you done spent thousands amongst thousands of tens of thousands of dollars, and next thing you know, you spending tens of thousands of dollars to get out the doggone wedding that you spent to get into. Now, mind you, what's going on, Brother Phelps? Mind you, all things don't work out perfect all the time. There are things that happen. People do fall apart. People do make the wrong decisions. But I wondered, I like bringing perspectives that people don't really think about. All the tens of thousands of dollars you spent to get married, and then have to spend money to get unmarried. And nothing is I guess for sure or 100%. But you better daggone believe, ladies, and you need to tell your daughters, men, wives, mothers and fathers, tell your daughters, listen, because they look for the fathers to pay for. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know where that. I guess that's tradition too. Look for the fathers to pay for everything or most of the money. But better tell you, Joe, look. And you need to say it, and you look him in the eyes. Say, look, I work too hard for my money. Okay. What's going on, Pops? I work too hard for my money for you to go out here telling me something you getting married. And then when times get hard, the situation don't go, you want to go, now you want to get out. Listen, I didn't give you my I'm giving you my 401k. I'm gonna give you the money I didn't work hard for. You better be sure and be on top. And let me give some words of advice I would like to give. I think both parties, especially nowadays, you need to come to the table with something to offer. I don't know what's going on with this new generation of I don't want to call them thought women, but these new generation of this club women or whatever, that a man got to provide for me, give me the bags. I can stay. Okay, here we go. I like being straight up. Let me tell y'all something, women. Men too, but mainly women. It ain't but so much your sexual capabilities can do when it comes to satisfying the man. That ain't this. You can drop it like it's hot all you want, but sooner or later you ain't gonna be able to drop it as hot as you was. And if you dropping it like it's hot was the basis of you getting and keeping this man, what's going to happen when your hotness ain't dropping it like it used to? Yeah, go get. You can get the BBLs. You can do this. You can do that. You can shake it. You can make it all you want. But that's the basis of if. And you wonder why a man will replace you so fast. Now I'm going with it. Y'all can like it or not. You wonder why a man will replace you so fast because you have only brought to the table what everybody else got too. The same female organs and capability that you got. Bring something to I've never seen. Now back in the day when the cost of living wasn't as crazy. You know, not nowadays. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Unless you balling or you got some crazy income, it takes two people to sustain a household. It takes two people. And this is another thing I don't like. I can't stand it, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it this morning, pops. Mr. Phelps, I'm gonna say it. I I can see, you see these women, they online for the online or on social media for the camera. They can shake it, they can drop it like a heart, they can walk around with the sexy outfits, they can do all this. Listen, there ain't no way, you know, doing it for the social media is one thing. But how you think a man feel, your man, how you think he feel where you can dress sexy for social media, you can look so seductive for social media, but then when that camera go off, you look like Auntie Lulybell or something walking around the house. You know, you up in the I see they up in the club, ooh, and then at that I don't understand. You can look sexy for the camera, but you can't look sexy just regular walking around the home for your spouse. You can be on point when the camera's on, but you can't be on point when it's time to cause see what you got, and this go both ways, but it's more or less women. You got these people and these guys thinking from what you present and throw at them that you are a highly sexual driven nature young lady that's looking to please her man by whatever means necessary. With all your hair and your lashes and your makeup and your BBLs and all this stuff. And then, I don't know if my mama said it or my mama's mama said it, and she just kind of told us as we was coming up. Well, somebody, my mom said, you got to come from up under the sheets sometime. You can't stay up under the sheets too long. Somebody got to work. Yeah. You don't get me wrong. The sex and all that is good, great, lovely, but you got to come from under the sheets sometime. That ain't the only thing that's going to sustain that shouldn't be the defining thing of what you offer to a man or either to a woman. And it's mainly I'm hearing more or less women saying this nowadays. The younger generation. I'm seeing in interviews they say, "Well, what you got to offer?" Me, I got me to offer. I got this. I made. What is that? Can you contribute to the upbuilding of my life, my family, our family? Oh, y'all don't like that type of they don't like that type of talking right there. Some of these women just ain't and listen, I see it, and no, you know what? I'm gonna say it because this is my show. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, you can drop it like a hot on social media. When you get to the family reunion, you can shake it, bake it, take it. When you get to your class reunion, you can dip your hip and all that, and then when you get home with your man, you won't even bust a grape. I said it. Won't even bust a grape. Won't even bust a grape. You know why our parents had children. They had big families because they bust grapes. They had relationships. They just didn't talk about it. They was about it, and they knew what it took to keep the man, vice versa, keep the woman at home. Huh? Pastor Thomas said togetherness is the key to a good. Definitely. Definitely. Clip, I ain't lying. Them jokers do all that stuff and won't listen. I'm like this here. We listen, don't be We ain't going out in public and you looking all sexy and fine, and you got a different walk in the public when we with everybody, and then as soon as you walk back in the door, the threshold at the house, you walking like you got duck feet, you ain't looking worse or nothing. Yeah, most of these women not listen, they ain't busting a grape at the house. Now I may be a little biased this morning because I'm a man, and this is my show. I'm just gonna be biased this morning. Faith Jacobs, talk to what's going on. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And men, let me tell you. You love that woman. Take care of that woman. And we don't have to give a false narrative. And this is another thing. You don't have to give a false narrative about your sexual capabilities with your spouse. Because let me tell you something. And this is why I like being real and true. 9 times, listen, let's just be honest. If most relationships were solely based off of just sex, because sex is not the only form of intimacy, but if most relationships were just based off sex, there would be a lot of non 20, 30, 40-year marriages. I remember an old couple at church we went to, they used to mess with us all the time, me and my wife, Sister Moore and Deacon Moore. She used to always say, she always used to compliment my wife. Oh, you got a beautiful wife. You got a beautiful wife. Oh, your wife's beautiful. Thank you. And her husband would say, yeah, young man. Yeah. She looked at her husband. They were old. She said, oh, you can't do that no more. You and it used to be so fun. But look, you think that these people been staying together for years and years and years because it's been crazy fireworks in the bedroom? No, that ain't been it. So what I'm saying is don't let that be your end all be all. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, especially for the women, because in today's time I'm seeing more and more women throw that up front as their value to a relationship or value to a man, or the reason why a man should pick. And listen, all y'all should be grown in here, or the reason why a man should pick you to be his wife, because you can throw it on them. And men, vice versa. We can listen. Human, we listen. Even the gorilla, even the lion. The lion get tired. Yeah. It's just human nature to, I don't want to say to decline, but your sexual engagement has nothing to do with proving something to the other one, or what you can do or what you can't do. It's the continuation of the intimacy. It's the helping of the interlocking to bring you closer together. But like I said, when you get to the age, or you get to these medical conditions or reasons where you can't do it, if it ain't love there, you're gonna be a miserable person when you get past the age where there ain't no cooking going on in the kitchen. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. Ron Porter, what's going on? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If that was the basis of getting a man or woman in a relationship, when that bacon grease don't get hot no more, it's gonna be trouble in the city. Calvin Randolph, am I right about it? Listen, y'all ain't. Some of y'all might be around your spouse right now, and you looking at him like you don't do the stuff you used to do before we got married. You looking at him side-eyed right now. You don't do the stuff. That's why that was one of the main reasons I got with you, because you used to do that thing. You used to now you don't do that no more. And ladies, I want y'all to understand. Listen, if your asset is your greatest asset to the relationship, you have nothing to offer. Not only the relationship, but you have nothing to offer yourself. Now you can put the words and figure out exactly what I'm saying, but if your asset is your greatest asset and your contribution to who you are as a person, or what you bring, or the reason why a man should choose you or whatever, you listen. I don't think are the mothers of the church telling these younger children that, baby, that ain't, you gonna need more than that. And there has seemed to be a decline in women knowing how to cook. And yeah, I don't know why I'm going down this road, but there has been a decline. And you see, today's women want yesterday's woman's rewards. I want a man that can take care of me and do this and do that. Okay. Well, let's be honest. Those women back in the days of our forefathers, I can say my parent and my parents' parents, they understood their roles. They listen. I've heard many stories of my daddy being out working and didn't matter what time of night he got home. Mama Mickens had his food ready. It been a whole heap of them churning now. Not only did she have food ready, but she had herself available and ready for him too. Yeah. Back then, I ain't gonna say that my grandmama and my granddaddy ain't never had their differences, but back then, and ladies, don't take this the wrong way, but ladies knew their place and knew where they stood, and they didn't openly demean their man in front of nobody. Morning, Helen. Yeah. Back then, and see, this is something I stand firm on. I just can't be a leader in front of people when it's convenient for you to have a strong man. I need to be a leader in the house. What I mean by that, women, y'all got to stop wanting this big protector and, oh, he big daddy, or he provide for me in the public, but then when you get him in the house, you don't show him no respect. You don't respect him in front of your kids. You don't respect y'all. Y'all act like y'all don't know what I'm saying here. What's going on, neighbor? I see my neighbor on here this morning. Yeah. You can't. Listen, I don't want to be only your big daddy, or only your provider, or only your he's my king in the public. I need the same he's all that when we walk through the threshold after we get out the car, the vehicles. I need that same energy. Now, mind you, men, we must, if we want that, we must carry the torch of that. Yeah, Cal said, "Don't be quiet." Look, and let me tell you something. I can't stand. I think I said this a while ago. I said I was gonna be off at 8:15, but I'm gonna keep going. I said I can't stand going in the public. I've been to a couple of programs and even in churches, and I'm seeing men, women. I don't even know if y'all intend to do it, but you make your man look so. I mean, men. Sometimes you just got to, you know. I mean. I saw one lady one time go back to the car and get my, and he was like, I was saying to myself, man, wait a minute. First of all, you in front of all these people. First of all, you ain't had to. All you had to do, hey, honey, do you mind going back to the car and getting this for me? I mean, she was like, I'm seeing so many weak men.
And is it that men have become weak or they don't want the drama? Them men from back in the day, grandmama and them husbands, they ain't care nothing about it. No, them men was standing straight. All right, Lily Mae, I said hush. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But even in the sternness of our grandparents back then, they still had, because as big as my grandfather was, my grandmother was probably 2 feet shorter than my granddaddy. I have never seen him raise his voice to talk crazy to her. But I have always seen her show him the utmost respect when he spoke, and it wasn't often he said much. She listened, or when she was doing something, and it was that look that he would give her. I think today's women don't understand the true word, because they don't like to hear this word submit and be submissive. Well, I ain't submitted. Yeah, that's why you're miserable. You ain't submitting. Now, that's a two-way street to submitting. Of course, they got to have something to submit to, but women don't want to be told what to do. And what I mean by told what to do, listen, my wife, and I think she's very good at this. My decision-making skills might not be 100%, but she will, in her own way, submit to what I want to do or what I'm doing. And it ain't no, well, it ain't gonna work or you wrong. It's well, okay, well, that's what you think that we ought to. All right, well, and if it's wrong, she don't even come back and be like, well, I told. Now, if we playing around, she like, sure, I told your crazy behind not to do that, and we laugh about it. But she knows how to let me be the man. Let me tell y'all, women, and listen, I'm gonna give y'all this tad bit, and I'm gonna go. And y'all might not want to admit it. TL, what's going on? And I say this being funny, but a lot of ladies, you can pretty much have whatever you want in a relationship with your husband or your man or whatever. And I say this just being funny, but it's kind of true. Let him feel like he in charge. Feed him good, and give him some loving. You gonna be all right. I'm just gonna tell you. Listen, men, we naturally in charge. That's our natural place in the marriage. And in it say we are naturally in, but there are. I can admit there are some things that, well, I know for sure if it wasn't for my wife, there's a lot of things that I have success in. I wouldn't be. But she knows how to keep me uplifted, keep me up, let me be the. And listen, I even said a lot of times on this show, hey, I'm just the face of the show, but it's a lot of stuff that I don't know how to. The first dang on thing how to do, she take care of it all. And you know what? Sometimes I say, hey, babe, I want you to do it. She ain't, and see, this way some of y'all women fall short. She ain't trying to let everybody know that, well, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have this, and he would. No. She ain't even trying to play that. Some of y'all women can't wait to tell somebody, well, he ain't had his stuff together. I had to come in and fix it. But I'm gonna tell you, listen, feed him. Listen, let your man be the man. Not just in public, not just when it's time to eat at the restaurant and you looking at him to pay the bill. Not just when you go somewhere, in front of people and you want to look at get order. Let him be the man. Let him feel like he in charge and give him some love. That's right. Listen, TL said it, but TL said some bedroom rocking. You need some bedroom rocking. You need it. Now, mind you, I say that's not the only thing, but it's very important. It's very important. Here go my father-in-law said, that's called 22 years of understanding your place. Yeah, listen, Pops, that's my father. That's my my wife's father. I think a lot of women get turned when they hear these words such as understanding your place. Women, you must understand your place. It doesn't make you weaker when you accept that because if you understand your place, the man will understand his place and vice versa. Your understanding and being submissive, it don't make you no lesser than me. It don't make you no lesser than him, but your understanding of being submissive, because the truth be told, you are, in a sense, of the lesser. Follow me? Because I know some of y'all women ready to trip. If something happened in the house while you sleep, you not expecting to jump up and go to the front and run downstairs and fight somebody. You looking for your man who is your protector and your provider to put his life on the line and be head first to protect you. I say like Geno Jennings say, am I right? Now I can tell you something about my wife. If something pop off, I know. Listen, I may be in front, but she coming with a jab. I'm tell you, I may be up front swinging a tussle, but I know my wife. She coming with a jab or a hook. But women want the men to throw themselves out front, to be in front for danger, but you don't want to give. And then even after the man does that for you, you still don't give him respect. Let me tell you something, women, ladies. There have been a lot of men, and see, this is the power that you all have. Tanya says, yes, that part. Let him be the man, and yeah. There have been a lot of men who have, when women have wanted them to exert their be my protector, don't let nobody talk to me, and they have put their neck out on the lines, and they have got shot, they have got killed, they have got beat up over the likes of your honor. You know, I got to get off here because I see right now. We have lost sight of the importance of submission and knowing your place in relationship. And that doesn't mean a man now, but no, you know what? Let me take that back because I need to be clear on a man is and should be the physical strength and the spiritual strength of his family. You are, I don't want to say, am I saying it right when I say you are subordinate to his authority? Is that the right word? Well, your man has covering over you. Your man has authority over you. Yeah. You just got to know. I done gave y'all the blueprint. Anybody newlywed or married or your marriage ain't going right now, I'm telling you, this ain't 100% proof, but love him, but no. Let him be the lead. Let him feel like a man all the time. Don't listen. It's my wife. It's been a lot of times I've been wrong, and my wife supported me in my wrongness. She ain't told me I was wrong in front of nobody. She supported me in my wrong. That's what you okay? Mm-hmm. Now we maybe on the ride home, or maybe we getting ready to lay down at night, and she might just bring the conversation up. But she let me be that. I'm telling you, let him be the man in charge. Let him make those decisions. Feed him. Feed him. Learn how to cook something. Learn how to cook some scrambled eggs or something. You got to learn how to cook something, lady. Lady, what? Listen, all you ladies, have you been teaching your daughters and your granddaughters and nieces how to cook? Number one, let him be the man. Let him feel like the man. Let it in public and behind closed doors. Let him be into, even if he may be leading. He might be making a wrong decision, but definitely don't embarrass. And it's vice versa too, man. Don't openly embarrass your spouse in front of nobody. Sometimes you just gotta wait for that car ride home. You say, babe, honey, sweetheart, now listen. Now I know you said this, but babe, you were wrong. So number one, let him be the man, and vice versa. Men, let that woman and she got to know she is the number one in your life. Matter of fact, not the number one. I learned this from a preacher when he said it. He's saying his first lady such and such. He said, no, only lady. Let her know both ways. Let them know only one. I'm in control. I'm the man. I'm the woman. Second, feed me. Man, we ought to know how to cook and do something too. Provide, right? Provide, nurture, right? The man providing, you giving the nurture, you giving him what, and listen, now in today's household, depending on the income, man and woman working, okay, fine. But that last thing, T.L. Scott said it best, and I'm gonna put it back up here. Bedroom rocking. Sometimes, and listen, I said like this, you ain't got to tear up nothing. But you got to connect. You huh? Bedroom rocking. Yeah. It's 8:45, guys. I'm going on 2 hours and 22 minutes, but I believe these comments that need to be said, things need to be heard. I was talking to Pastor Bridges yesterday, and I was just saying, it's just a lot of things that we don't talk about because we think it's taboo. We shouldn't talk about that. But listen, first of all, if I don't hear these things I'm talking about from a halfway sensible perspective, and my daughter or my son don't hear it from a halfway sensible perspective, then they gonna hear it from somewhere. They're gonna hear it from these videos, they're gonna hear it from these rap songs, they're gonna hear it from these just people who don't have the best. All they want. Yeah, listen. It's like Gino Jennings saying, am I right? Yeah, I'm right. And listen, and this scenario I'm painting isn't 100%. I don't think nothing is 100% because there's always a chance of failure or disappointment. But when it comes to relationships, I can promise you, women, if y'all may sound picking on the women today, but your man has to at least feel like in his own house he's a leader or he's in charge. Has to. I'm sorry. If he don't fit, listen, if you don't make him feel like that, and listen, this is just the truth for the matter. And some of y'all ain't gonna. If you don't feel like that at home, he gonna feel like that somewhere. If she don't feel like that at home, she gonna feel like that somewhere. And then when I say this, that don't mean that they are out looking for it. It can come from someone who understands or maybe doing that at their home, or they're seeking it for themselves. So they are given what they're looking for, and it just so happens to be something that you ain't receiving at your own house. And it tends to, listen, opposites seem to attract, or whatever that saying is. Y'all know what I'm saying. I can guarantee you, I'm gonna use this scenario. You can have a dog in the backyard. You can have him on a chain, or you can have him running loose. You can keep the gate open, right? You can have that gate open, and you can feed that dog every day. That dog may never leave the yard. That dog know he got a loving home. But you mess around and don't feed the dog. I don't care how good that house is. I don't care how green that grass is. The dog gonna start walking closer to that fence and realize, hey, you know, this is an open door here. And somebody passing by. It always happens. You ever lose a dog and see somebody, oh, hey, little dog, you're so cute. You need the Lord. Let me get this dog some water. And the dog sitting like, the dog looking back at the house, but looking at the, I'm telling the truth. And listen, I ain't got to say too much because you know exactly what I'm saying. And that ain't only in marriage. That's if you somewhere and you ain't even on your jobs, even at your church, if you ain't feeling appreciated or feeling you getting what you need, you gonna look somewhere else. Or something that comes by. That's why so many people church hop, because they hear something that, you know. You ever been in some of these church, man, and the ushers look mean when you walk in the door? You like, man, what the world? I done been to some nasty churches before where the people just, you know, and see, I think the older generation of the churches don't understand that. Listen, this is not the same times as of yesterday where your grandmama and your granddaddy popping them out, and you know when you don't sing or you know they beat you right there on the pool on the in the bench, you know they drag you through the door. You know them days ain't like that no more. So now when you have the the younger generation, and I'm saying this, the younger generation have no other place to go for refuge or for this burning. They don't have, because even when they listen, I man, look, I say we as the church don't even know how to accept what we don't recognize or what don't look like us. We come to the church in our 3-piece suits or whatever your suits, and you come in there with your head held high and your posture straight. You stay awake for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and you praise the Lord, for He is good and worthy to be praised. And you see somebody that come through the door that don't look like you, and you don't have a welcoming spirit or atmosphere about you. I say right now, listen, church ain't church no more. Church got too many people in the pulpit that's already right. They already good to go. They already good to go, Mr. Bannister. They already good to go. So when and I ain't even gonna just say the young people, when the sinner or the non-church goer comes in, and they've been told all their life that this is a place that you can come and you can be welcome. You can just come as you are. But when they come as they is, you ain't got the reception. We looking at them funny, scooting. No, not. There's a song say the doors of the church are open. Come on in. But are the doors of the church really open? And let me tell you, listen. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there and I'm gonna get off. We'll touch that next week. we'll touch that next week. Cause I got to go get ready. I got to be at church at 10. I need to go get ready. We'll touch that next week. Matter of fact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it to the 9 o'clock hour. We got 8 minutes. Like I said, men. Let me say this. Men, take your rightful places in every aspect of life. Take your rightful places in the church. Take your rightful places first in your household. Take your rightful places on your job. And I ain't talking about now because there are situations on the jobs where this, women are being in charge of them. I'm not talking about, don't be that a woman can't be over you. That's not what I'm saying. But in every aspect of life, you need to take your spot as a leader. Now, if we men want the women to give us that you're the man respect, we have to bring that I'm the man mentality. Means I have to be able to show it. I have to be able to prove that I am the man. Yeah. You don't have to let me be the man. I am the man. You are my wife. You are my spouse. I am your protector. You can surrender, you can submit, you can allow me to lead you because I know how to. And I don't mind that when I'm wrong as a man that you can say, hey, honey, King, my leader, we might have should have tried it like this. Listen, I don't care what ladies, y'all ain't gonna like it, but I'm telling you, it's just some little things like that. You mess around and call it. Listen, there was a comedian when I used to do comedy. He used to always say that he used to say something in the life that if you ever want a man to do something, just call him Big Daddy. Call him Big. And let me say this, then we're gonna close. I got 5 minutes. Ladies. Spread this word. The same thing that you want when it comes to the affection of your man, he's looking for the same thing. I can guarantee it. I understand that women are more emotional, but see, men have been taught to hide their emotions for so long that we may seem like it's not emotional for us, but we deal with that because that's just what society has taught. I don't even want to say particularly our parents have taught us that. It's just because that's what was handed down to them. Men don't show no emotions, so the only time that we may feel comfortable showing some type of vulnerability is in an intimate moment. I know I'm in this house. Y'all ain't got this. That's why you don't see too many men. Men that you'll see a church of 100 people, and it can be 50 men and 50 women, and I guarantee you 45 of the women will be emotional, praising the Lord, and only about 10 of the men will. Because men have only been taught to sit up in church, look hard, say man, shake their head. This now the newer generation got a little bit more. Yeah, we've been taught all our life, no emotion. The only time that we know how to show emotions really is when it's time for that bedroom. Now I say that I'm gonna go back again. The same thing you looking for. If you looking, what matter of fact, everything in a relationship. If you looking for your spouse is looking forward to. If you looking to be pampered, they looking to be pampered. Nobody wants to pamper all the time. If you looking to be sought after, or you want the engagement of the act to happen, that your spouse wants you to come in and, like Brother TL said, they want you to come in and start the engagement of the bedroom rocking. Yeah. But whatever you think that you deserve in a relationship, your spouse is looking for the same thing. So when you feel like you ain't getting it, they feel like they're not getting it. I got 3 minutes. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. And I think too many times relationships fail and falter because one person only worries about what they are not receiving from their spouse, and they not worrying about what they're not giving to their spouse. Well, he don't do this, or she don't do this, or she don't show me no affection. Okay, well, did you do the same? I remember this had to be about maybe early in our marriage. I think I don't know what we was fussing about or whatever, but being newly married, I could really only see everything wrong with her. I mean, I can find, man, shoot, every day I can find something wrong. She don't do this, she don't do that, she don't do that, she don't do that. Or either she, you know, because first of all, I'm the man and such. And then one day, and I ain't even gonna say it was the Holy Spirit, could have been the Holy Spirit. Sometimes common sense, we got common sense. Some said, well, listen, try focusing instead of trying to get her right or find her faults. Try to right your, even because most of the times when we disagree with our spouse, we don't see ourselves wrong. And sometimes you just got to sit back and say, okay. Let me try to see what she sees. Let me try to fix myself instead of trying to fix what I think is wrong with her. Whoa, did my eyes get open? Whoa, did my eyes get open? That's why I can say a lot of times, I know how I am. I know I ain't easy. That's why I say it take a strong woman. I know he gave me her because I can be hard to deal with. I don't care who you are still on this live right now. You know, if you know how you is. You know how you is. You know how you is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get off here, man, because I gotta go. This was a good one today. Listen, if you guys enjoyed it, man, I hope you come back next week. Maybe I need to start getting this podcast started a little bit because it is early in the morning. I may chop this one up and post it a little bit later so everybody can see it. But listen, I thank everybody for coming in and tuning in to the podcast. And listen, I'm gonna talk about stuff that you're not really used to. Appreciate that, Calvin. Conversation. I'm gonna conversate about stuff that people normally don't want to conversate about. Things that I was talking to some preachers yesterday, and I was telling them I challenged any preacher to at least sit down in front of the some type of social media live and just talk from the heart about whatever and not waver from their conversation just because they see a certain person pop up in the chat. Because a lot of times people will talk about something and y'all know how it is. You ever know when somebody talk, man, yeah, I wish he would come in. I tell them off and then that person walk in the room and they change their story. I challenge anybody. Matter of fact, not even preachers, just get in front of your social media, even if it's just 10 minutes, and just speak something that you feel strongly about, and just say, hey, you know, I'm gonna just throw this out there, and then I'm gonna throw this out there. You say, I don't believe being a Christian and being a part of a sorority or organization can go together. I don't believe that you can be a Q dog and a Christian. I don't believe that you can be a Phi Beta whatever and a crack. I don't believe that you can be a Mason and a Christian. Now, I'm throwing this out there because it is topics of discussion. And then you give your viewpoint and you just talk, not down saying anybody who's a Catholic, you wrong, you going to hell. No. I'm talking about just having conversations like we have to say, listen, I don't believe in that. And this is why. And then you mess around and look over in the comment section and you see somebody who you know who's a Christian and who is a part of an organization. And then all of a sudden you change your tone. No. I challenge anybody just to have the conversation. give your opinion, let your opinion be what it is, and move on. But you know what happens? A lot of times we start, what the scripture said, this and that, and now you fuss. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna play with the scriptures. Well, you know what? It's a little deeper than that. Everything ain't so daggone deep. Some stuff is just right there on the surface, but you just got to have a conversation about it. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get ready to go. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go to church. Kevin, hey man, I appreciate y'all. Mike C. Adams, Mario, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Carolyn Farmer, everybody. Let me go back to Tanya with my father-in-law, Mike West, Helen Osborne, Pastor Stephen Bridges, Pastor Thompson, my good brother Phelps, Beth, Craig Stewart, my wife Tavisha. Who else? Oh man, I don't want to miss nobody. I know it's a lot. Pastor Wade. Who else? I saw Faith in the chat. Dr. Guyton, thank you for tuning in. Tammy, thank you for tuning in. Cheryl Snell, thanks for tuning in. The Gospel Starlight. Gregory, thanks for tuning in all the way from Kentucky. Oh man, Pastor Bass, thanks for tuning in. Tricia Whitlock, thanks for tuning in. Again, Cheryl, who else? Come on, y'all. Come on, where y'all there? Sandra, thanks for tuning in. Listen, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Next week, maybe even later on today, because I think that we got a lot to talk. Twin, yeah. Kelvin and Calvin. Yeah, listen, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Listen, I think we got a lot to talk about. And the only way to do it is to have the conversation. Love you too, Pops. Like I said, that's my real Pops right there. You know what I'm saying? My real Pops, you know. Yeah. My real Pops right there. That's my wife's father. But listen, guys, I will see y'all later. I got to go. And maybe around about 4:00. People should be home from church. I might come back on. It all depends on I know me and my wife got to go for our daily walk. And then we'll come back and see if we can touch bases with y'all again. Well, y'all know it. When you hear this song, you already know what's going on. We're gonna roll on up out of here. All right. Oh yeah. Got it. My main man, right here from the hometown, King George. All right, my brother, AJ Holiday, right here from South Carolina. I'm humble, and I thank God for the success that he's having. Listen, guys, I'll see y'all later. Gotta go.